Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special meeting of the Hyde Park Planning Board. It's June 25th, 2026, and 10:30 a.m. If you could please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item on the agenda is business with Relier Properties LLC. We closed the public hearing last week, and we scheduled a special meeting to consider a resolution granting site plan amendment approval. And thank you very much to all the consultants and staff and my colleagues for putting in all your hours and expertise on this. There still may be some questions, so.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I'm here.
Yep. Have you had a chance
Yes, I did.
to review the resolution?
We're fine with it.
Oh, you're fine with it? Okay, no questions? Okay.
Right, what we talked about the other night.
Yep, okay. Ms. Moss?
No, that's fine.
Okay, great. Mr. Sotero?
The only thing that we changed was to put the option for, the boulders or the post and rail like fence, because I think, it may be hard for them to find the number of boulders that they need, especially in that size. So, perhaps a post and rail fence would be easier, like, and cheaper, so it just gives the option.
Right. We had a discussion at the last meeting that, given the size of some of the machinery that they're using on site, that if they were to run into a post and rail fence, that would probably knock it over. Whereas boulders, not so much. It's harder to move a boulder.
Well, if you require, I'm trying to think of both the applicant and, the planning board. If you specify so many of these boulders, I forget, Jill had them at a certain, spacing, but I think it got changed to a 4-foot diameter.
Yeah, we had the discussion about
4-foot diameter, to find, I'm going to use 50 4-foot diameter, like boulders to put around there is probably going to be difficult. And then my guess is the applicant will put in all different size. Some are small, some are big, and probably say that's like.
Could we do a combination?
Well, your condition that you have in here states or, and we agree.
Yeah.
right. They were the ones who actually suggested 4-foot. That nothing was really going to move it substantially.
Oh, no, 100%. Nothing
And
will move
they
that.
didn't sound like they
Yeah,
were
we
going to have
agree
any
with
problem
you.
finding.
We agree with your note number 3, which says or post rail fence.
Yeah. I believe, Mr. Berger, at the last meeting, you said that you're accustomed to getting those size boulders.
We-
They're common for you.
But I don't have a problem with the condition being just in case something happens. I agree.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see that there was an or in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're going to try the boulders. We like them, but I don't have a problem with the or.
gotcha.
Anticipates a problem that may occur.
Okay, we're just trying to protect that
Maybe
area in the
boulder
back.
shortage from China.
Yep, understood. Thank you, Pete. I
Yeah.
appreciate the added clarity on that. Anything else? Anything else, Pete?
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Ms. Polidoro?
No, the resolution is set up so that it incorporates all the open items as conditions, so that the applicant can go ahead and just give us a final submission. And then there is a provision at the end that said a certificate of occupancy will not be issued until after an inspection confirms that all of the site improvements have been completed.
We agree.
Yep, okay, great. Again, thank you for all that work to pull all that together. Mr. Waters?
Yeah, my only thought was I don't know if we specified specifically the northern boundary line in that back of the property to make sure that there was no encroachment, but I think on the plans, I believe you had some riot block or something in there?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, that was on the site
No
plan
building
set.
has built.
Yes, I believe that's
That was
there.
on
I
the-
just want to make sure that.
That and plantings.
Yeah, I was remembering that correctly.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's
yep,
correct.
Yes, okay. Yep.
great. Yeah,
That's
these
it?
are the outstanding items that
Yeah.
needed to still be.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Mr. Veith?
No comments.
Ms. Lee?
Thank you for working together, everyone, but no other comments.
I don't have any further comments either, other than thank you for your, for turning some of this stuff around pretty quickly. We anticipate that the final plan set will be also turned around quickly, and we welcome another new business into Hyde Park.
Over the weekend. Michelle's coming back, so.
Okay, all right, that's
Over the
great,
weekend.
that's great. And it looked like you started the electric work on site to
Yes.
get that service fixed?
Yes.
Excellent, okay. Well, I don't have any more input there. Mr. Veith, I believe you have
Okay,
this.
I do. Relier Properties, Resolution 2023-64B, whereas, now therefore be resolved that the planning board hereby approves the project and authorize the chair or her authorized designee to sign the site plan after compliance with the following conditions. Number 1, payment of all fees in escrow. Number 2, revision of site plan to include note confirming that the carbon dioxide detection system will be installed within the growing facility in buildings A1 through 3. Number 3, revision of the site plan to replace the 2-foot diameter boulders with 4-foot diameter boulders placed 10 feet on center around or near material storage area, or a post and rail fence with a fence detail. Number 4, revision sheet 1 of the site plan to clarify the types of waste and materials that can be stored on site, update applicable notes to satisfaction of the planning board planner. Number 5, revision of sheet 2 of the site plan to show existing striped spaces to be restriped where needed to the satisfaction of the planning board planner. Number 6, removal of storage shipping containers in the lawn by the building A6. Number 7, revision of sheet 2 of the site plan to avoid a note, to add a note regarding the maximum height of material piles is 35 feet. Number 8, revision of sheet 3 of the site plan set to increase the size of the white pine and arborvitae plantings at time of planting to be 6 foot tall. Number 9, revision of the landscaping plan to include the new planting island south of building A1 through A3 with a mix of deciduous trees and shrubs or grasses to the satisfaction of the planning board engineer and zoning administrator. Number 2, revision of site plan to incorporate by reference of the mechanical plans prepared by Coliff Engineering, PLLC, for Easy Routes dated March 26, last revision April 1st, 2026, sheets M001, M003, M010, M012, or M102, M201, M202, M501, M503, M601, M602, M701, M702, and to include a note stating that the implementation of all requirements of that odor scrubbing exhaust fan in the mechanical plans is a requirement of this site plan approval. Number 11, revision of site plan to add a note stating that any permanent or temporary structures not shown on the site plan are not permitted and are in violation of the approved site plan. Number 12, revision of site plan to correct the address and grid number on the title block. Be it further resolved, a certificate of occupancy or certificate of compliance for buildings A1 through 3 shall not be issued until and unless the zoning administrator and planning board engineer determines after a site inspection that the Route 9 intersection improvements, planting island, boundary boulders, or fence, and all other site improvements shown on the site plan have been installed in accordance with the approved site plan set.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
I wanna
much.
Thank all the consultants in town for,
Yep. Looking forward to
Making
the
this
new
happen.
business.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Berger.
You too.
So we have two more items on the agenda that will be a workshop, but I wanted to know from our video commander in the back there, if we could go into a recess and hold until everybody shows up? Thanks. We're in a
microphones,
Well, yep. Welcome, everybody. We're on to the next portion of our agenda. This time, we're going to be talking with the Belfield folks who are here in workshop to give us an update on the Phase 4. That's the condos and villas. Welcome.
Sure. Thank you very much for having us this morning. Certainly something that we welcome because it helps us advance the project. There is a submittal date, so from a scheduling standpoint, we're here today. These drawings are substantially complete. Any comments, any verbal comments we receive from the board and from the consultants, we will then turn around a full submittal on Tuesday for the July 15th planning board meeting. At that planning board meeting, we'll ask for a public hearing on the next meeting, which I believe is the 8th, August 8th.
5th.
And
5th?
I mean 5th, yeah. 8/5, right, August 8th, 5th. To be held at that time. Then also on the 15th, we'll circulate county planning. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Any comments?
Well, yes, which, or just for the notes, is this for the remainder subdivision or the condos?
The condos.
Okay.
This is
Phase 4A and 4B.
4A and B. And we're also submitting which we'll get into after the site plan for A and B. We'll get into the plat itself. Okay, so on the table here is the plat to your left, and the site plan is to your right. And Jared can run through them. He has the cover sheet up on the site plan. So again, thank you for having us. You sent me an email, so there's a few bullet points here I wanted to go through. You wanted an updated chart showing the adjustments of the dwelling counts from the cottage homes to Phase 4A and B, so we have provided that. We originally provided that in a cover letter sent May 19th, but now it's actually on the site plan cover sheet. And it shows the adjustments to the density. You want to zoom into those, Jerry? The big picture is that the townhouses were approved at 160 and we moved them to 180. And then on the patio homes, we were at 80, we went down to 68, so that's a 15% reduction. And on the cottages, we went from 58 to 50. That's a 13.8 reduction. So again, that's there. Of course, the planning board has been given the authority to make these adjustments up to 15%, and we did not exceed the 15%. It was a great idea to have that in the seeker approval because the market is the market and they're coming back with more townhouses. Before I just wanted to give the board, while we're here, an update on the 2B status, just so you know where we're at. We did get the final comments from DOH yesterday. They're minor, and Chris, you would agree with that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're a quick
Final
turnaround
details.
thing and wrap that baby up.
Yep.
All right, so we're basically there on the DOH. The Water Authority, we haven't heard back from them after 4 rounds, but we're pretty close. We expect that we'll have them shortly as well. The SWIP with Pete's team, we did get some what I'm calling final comments. We went through them yesterday and with Pass Row, and I expect, do you anticipate any problems with those, Chris? You're all set?
I think we're all set with those as well.
Okay, well, you got them right behind you, so make sure they're
Take
all
advantage.
set. Take advantage of that. So we're essentially there, and then we'll get with Cynthia on the final plan set and do a page turn, make sure we're all set. Going back to your notes that you sent, the plans show cross-sections of the pond and the aquatic bench. So the cross-sections are shown on the dam, and it's all engineered with all the elevations, so you'll see that in the submittal set. The aquatic bench is in there. We still need to show the planting on it, so we owe that to you. We'll have that by Tuesday. The plan should have cross-sections through the dam, which we did, but we'll also add another cross-section, northwest cross-section, showing the aquatic bench, the depth of the pond. So, again, the pond is all engineered with the outlet works, and the drainage structure is all coming into the pond. We need to be referred to county planning, which we talked about. We did reach out to the fire department, Dan Nichols, and he's still reviewing the work. We haven't had anything back, but we contacted him as soon as the plans were done last week. So he
And we had
does
given
have it.
him a preliminary view, because again, this hasn't been officially, the submission for what we're seeing has not been made yet, so he's getting a preview of that, correct?
Yes,
And I think
yeah.
that was a little confusing to him. He wasn't.
Oh, it was? Okay, I did ask
Because
him
it
to
wasn't
call me.
the official circulation.
Oh, okay. That's true. I did ask him to call me with any questions. We do show a plan in this set that shows the circulation of the Roosevelt fire truck. I mean, it's pretty good,
Yep.
circulation-wise. And if you want, we could show that to you. Street-facing elevations. The elevation for the townhouses was provided at the last meeting. They were beefed up a little bit. You may want more. If you want more during the course of this presentation, let us know, and we'll have that ready for Tuesday. So we're going to go through the layout. Are there any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, so
Not
we're
for
going
me.
to go through the layout. We'll show you what changed, and then we'll go through kind of a high level, the details on the site plan, utilities. The other thing to note, and I will get into this on the plat, all the easements. I noticed this morning we were lacking one easement, but Victoria, the whole chart is updated with all the easements that we're adding here. The one that we need to add is another pedestrian trail easement, and we'll get that on for Tuesday. So, could you zoom out, Chair? on that? So there's the site plan. The green is concrete sidewalks. The light green is the concrete sidewalks for Phase 2A. So you can kind of see how everything's tying together, and it's also right here. The red is the trail that loops around the back and adjacent to the pond on the south side of the pond, and so that whole loop, as we said last time, is half mile. So 2 times you get a mile in. So see you out there doing that? Okay.
It sounds great, actually.
Yeah.
And I would just also invite anybody to just, if you have comments, please feel free to, ask questions as Larry's presenting, so that we can get a full dialogue here.
So in this site plan, a building 3031 are, you can see them here, they're on the left side of the screen. The courtyard there that has the pool area, the cabana area, and any updates from you guys on the cabana area, what you're thinking, Mike?
On what?
The pool house. Here.
So with regards to the pool house, I think we're gonna do something outdoor kitchen, more with the exposed
Okay.
glass walls. We wanna do
Here, make sure.
yeah, instead of having all the amenities outside, we're gonna have inside the lobby, which is gonna include, we're gonna have golf simulator, full-size gym. We'll have a conference room, bike room, and then we're gonna add the bathrooms. Instead of outside, we're gonna have inside the building, so it's all year round. So if somebody's using a golf simulator, they don't have to go outside, or if it's in the winter, they can use there, so the vice versa. So the outside pool house, basically, it's gonna be Tom and I worked yesterday and that, and my design team, we're gonna provide some design renderings. It's gonna be like cool looking, exposed concept with outdoor kitchen, fireplace, type of thing, like covered with the glass partitions.
Have you considered, just as a comment, have you considered any cold storage in the lobby as an amenity for people who have food deliveries, especially groceries? Have you just thought about that?
Yeah, we have not a cold storage, but
Okay.
we're gonna have like the package room, and then
Okay.
we're gonna have a mail room. So it's a very cool looking mailboxes, and people can be sitting. It's gonna have a lounge area when people wanna receive their mails or packages. Package room will be separate, not the cold one.
With the outside amenities building there in the courtyard, is that going to be screened from the road? How will you be handling that?
When you say screened, what are you thinking?
Well, do you want people actually seeing people barbecuing from that, or from the other townhouses, looking down? I mean, am I correct?
From the road,
From the road? Yeah.
right there?
Elevation change.
Yeah.
You're high up,
You're looking up,
Yeah.
right?
Your eye line will.
but is there trees, is there plantings, is there screenings?
Yes, yes,
you
and
know,
we do have the
stone
landscape
wall.
plan, so you'll see.
Kind of the landscaping and elevation.
The idea there was to have fescue planted and mowed twice a year, very natural looking, and you'll see on the landscape plan, there is some stuff, but we could beef it up.
But also the structure, the cabana, it's 20, how many feet was wide? It's 25
it's
by
25,
40.
yeah.
So we have a total, the length is 65 feet. So you're only gonna have like small portion exposure on the side, so that the cabana pretty much, structure of cabana, it's gonna be a buffer from somebody to look from the
So it's a
street.
wall, see, I mean, that's the thing, I'm trying to get a visual. Is it a walled cabana on this side?
side.
And it's open on the inside? It's a half wall with cabinets
No,
or?
it's gonna be full wall, like
Yeah.
half covered,
Okay,
and the front will have like the glass partition so you can open it up, and the barbecue kitchen will be this side.
okay.
So in other words, like when you look at it, you're looking at like in a nice surface from the street.
Okay,
And then the pool is there, then we have a little courtyard. And,
okay. So
people
you're screening the
hanging
pool?
out,
Yeah,
pretty
you're
much.
screening the pool, which is good,
It's,
that's good.
even if we do the trees and stuff, if somebody wants to sneak in, he can sneak in.
Sure.
But this is gonna have a much more, huge privacy there.
Okay, yeah.
And it's-
And then the other thing is, since it's a pool, where is the fencing for the pool? Is it needed? Is there anything like that? Somebody could walk off the street, go into the pool and drown, I mean, I'm
There's
sure
pool
there's code
fencing.
for that.
We'll show the pool fencing, and we also
Requires a
owe
fence
you,
code. Right.
we also owe you an elevation
Yeah, that
on
is
the
good.
Yeah,
the pool
so-
house.
So hopefully that fencing will be a decorative fencing, maybe some kind of open lattice or something nice, not chain link.
When we get
No,
there,
no, it won't be changed.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
Right.
I'm trying to get the picture in my head of what it
Okay.
is. So it's the first time I'm seeing the cabana type of
Okay.
feel. And then the other thing is is that cabana roof section, is it going to mirror something like what's happening up on the upper decks on the buildings, with us cantilevers?
That was one option we discussed.
Okay.
Yeah, something, since it's proximity to the condos,
Yeah.
it'll have to kind of fit. with
It has to
design.
fit with, yes, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't need to look totally different, like,
Yeah. so
you don't want a
yeah,
grass roof on it.
reality, I think the terraces.
You don't want a tiki hut on there?
No.
Yeah, over top, I think is
Yeah,
kind of maybe where.
what you're looking at. Okay.
I think when we get there too, maybe a detail elevation of in between with the surface material of what the back of that cabana is going to look like, meaning from the street, would be very helpful just to get a idea of what it looks like when one's walking by the sidewalk.
Yeah, we could add that to like that street section.
Yeah, that'd be
That would
great.
be good,
Just give it a sense of the scale.
I would love that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
because you would ask for that anyway.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It comes to life for me.
Yes. Yes. But I'm starting to get a better feel for that area at this point, anyway.
And how elevated is that, Tom? Do you know?
It's around 10.
10 feet? It's from the road? From the road, it's about 10
Right.
feet.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right, that's the...
Can I show you how I have this?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, sure.
go
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have a conceptual renderings, it's not finalized yet. Still working on it. Yeah, we do have a conceptual design detail. So you see, this is going to be the fence. So picture this is a courtyard. So that's how that's going to be like courtyard, like.
Sitting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my buildings will be much
understand.
nicer than this. And then and then we have, so the lobby will be similar, like the staircase you entered on the ground level, floor staircase, and then we have a golf simulator. This is the mailboxes, and my conceptual rendering is like this was the first version.
Great job.
So this is very cool, but it's still in a working process. And it's going to have stucco, reclaimed wood, stone components to it, and also the windows will be floor-to-ceiling glass, and they're going to have all rooftop terrace with the pergola. So this is a much better view from here.
And it's going to be EFS or stucco?
It's going to be no EFS. It's going to be all stucco.
Stucco?
Yeah, same thing that we do in townhouses now. We're going to do the similar concept. So townhouses probably will be limestone. This one will be like slightly different texture. But we're going to do also the wood, same type of wood, similar we use in there, and the stone mixed in, as you see here. So this is going to be the wood. That's the wood pergola here, the chimney. Only the top floor is going to have rooftop terrace, but every other one's going to have a balconies.
And then the color palette, I mean, we had spoken about that.
We're going to get that mood board for you guys.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
meeting, hopefully, we're going to finalize that. We just talked about this yesterday, so.
Good. So, yep, that would be helpful, yes. Yep, okay.
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 Yeah, so
Back to you.
what's on the screen now is the grading plan. So you can see the grade difference between the carriageway and the...
Excuse me, Ann.
Yes,
Suggestion,
yes.
Yeah.
before we go on to, the grading plan, do we want to just go over anything that anybody might have on, like the layout plan, or you want to do it all at the end? It's up to you.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Basically, if, like, say, we have some we have some comments on, the layout plan, maybe other board members do, did you want to discuss those?
Hop right in whenever you like. No, I don't,
Or-
yeah, it's because it's the way we're kind of seated here and how they're going through it. Please hop in, so before we move on, if you have some
Well,
comments.
that's what I was thinking.
Yes,
If
no,
we have some-
absolutely.
so that-
All right,
Yes.
before... Yeah, but before those comments, I just want to get through the site plan.
Oh, all right, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then he can have his
Whatever works.
comments on the site plan. So 3,000, 3,100 is on the left side of the screen. That has the courtyard and the pool, and then the pool house cabana that we were, talking about. As you go to the right side of the screen, of course, you see the 8 townhouses there, and originally the driveways were in the front, they're flipped in the back. We re-engineered the grading, all the utilities, all now are accommodating that switch, including the bio areas. So you'll see in the grading plan the different bio areas that had to be adjusted as a result of that move. You'll see in buildings 32 and 33, originally a drive parking lot went through the buildings. We flipped it to the east side of 31, 3200. As a result, we were able to create a courtyard in between
Nice.
the middle there. That's an at-grade courtyard. There's no garage underneath it, so we're going to plant it up pretty nice, and you'll see that on our submittal for Tuesday. So that's the layout changes. This is what we're currently proposing. And the change, of course, to the townhouse, you're already aware of that. You saw that last time. Adding the courtyards to 31 and 32 is a current
better.
change here.
Yeah.
And is there any detail on that courtyard? I mean, we spoke about the courtyard where the pool is.
Yeah, so we're going to provide that detail where we show the sidewalks in there, and then you'll see the planting plan on Tuesday. You'll be submitted with the planting plan.
So it'll be more of a green courtyard?
Yep, it's more of a green. There'll be benches in there. There'll be gardens. We might have a perennial garden, vegetable garden. We'll see.
Larry, while you have those plans working, maybe you could do a section of that courtyard so we can see sort of how that looks. I mean, that's pretty.
Where do you want the section?
I want the
North,
section in the
south,
new
east, west?
courtyard, maybe, so we can see how it vibes with the two buildings.
All right, do you want it east, west, or north, south?
I mean, it would make more sense to me to bisect both buildings, but whatever your design team thinks.
Just to get a sense, I think.
If I could
East,
offer,
west?
the
Yeah.
one side of the building is a higher grade because you're seeing the garage, the left side of those buildings, whereas the other side is actually higher grade, you don't see the garage.
Right.
Based on the grading I looked at, it's going to look about 60 feet tall from the bottom of the garage to the top of the 4th floor, I believe. Is that where it's at? So
Is that the easternmost building?
those are the two easternmost buildings. They're basically twins of each other. They look to be basically about graded and elevated the same.
I mean, east to west, to answer your question.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. That's what I
Okay.
figured you wanted. Now, one thing, too, that we will provide is the average grade calcs. So you'll see them. The average grade can't exceed 65 feet, 3 inches. So I'll work
Okay.
with Tom, and we'll present that. We're not going to have any problem because the average grade also goes in the courtyard.
Right.
So you take out a whole elevation there, wrap it around, so.
Are you, Larry, are you going to have some kind of a, circulation system in the lake or the pond there?
Yes.
So we'll see some kind of a fountain spray or something from that
Yeah.
courtyard?
Yeah. Yes, you will.
Okay, otherwise, I think maybe a water feature or something. And then also, remember, I'm big on it, and I think the town is very behind it, is pollinator kind of gardens and stuff, if that's possible, like, whether it's coneflower, I don't know what you would do. I know you're talking about grasses, but, grasses.
Yeah, I think it's like two different things, right? There's
Yeah.
like the bioretention plants are different,
Yeah.
and then you're talking about maybe pollinators for
Pollinators.
around the walk or something like that. I think
Okay.
Tad has a list of pollinators. Don't we have a list, Tad, of pollinators that do we have something like that?
I don't recall.
Oh.
I mean, you could get
There
that.
is one.
Yeah, you can get that.
There's there's
You
lots
can
of
get that.
lists
We can certainly
of-
add a few pollinator plants.
of plants that work
Well,
really well in this
know,
area.
Larry, you
I
know.
mean, they're mostly
Yeah.
native, so they'll do great
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
they're low maintenance, actually.
And while we're talking about the pond, I just, again, wanted to point out that, to think about how to keep the levels of it up. So we've had a very dry period right now. Our pond, which is probably at a depth of 4 or 5 feet, has dropped 2 feet. And so you can, it's got the green algae
Yeah.
that just because, well, we don't have an aerator, but also the turtles don't seem to really mind green algae, nor do the frogs.
How big is the pond?
It's probably about the same size.
Okay.
Might be a little bigger, but at this time of year, there's no input. Everything, there's very few ponds in our neck of the woods that have constant flow. I do note that the one, again, right behind you, almost always has the level. I've never really seen the level go down in that property that's right behind you.
Yeah. On my source.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the other ones will go down and turn into, algae
Maybe spring fed.
messes, but just to, again,
Okay.
kind of keep that in front of you.
Okay.
Because right now you would be looking out and it would be like, look a little scary.
Sludge.
Yeah, okay.
And your fountain wouldn't work.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so before we go on from the layout, Pete, you can whatever.
Hop right in.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and have Tom Harvey go through it. Tom did primarily most of the review while I was away. I took a look at it yesterday and made some minor edits. So I'm going to let Tom go, and then I'll go hop in on some things if he doesn't hit them.
So anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Tom Harvey, Rennie Engineering. I'm going to be working on taking over some things as Pete tries to get retired here. So we looked at the initial submission, which was a complete submission of all, looks like 18 sheets at the time. Originally was received back in May, and then it looks like that was superseded in June by a sort of partial, about 4-sheet submission, where it looked like the building 3300 was moved out and the loop road was put around it. So we focused our review on those kind of 4 sheets. And the first thing we just want to note or ask for in the site plan was that the buildings that are actually part of Phase 2A, if they could just be labeled on the plan so it's clear that we're not proposing anything different, and that's just kind of good for reference to see, but I think having them clearly identified as not part of this phase would be a helpful thing. And then we also noticed that the layout of the buildings 3300 and 3200 didn't seem to have sidewalks right up to the buildings or around the buildings. And some of the sidewalks that we saw in that view, this is a updated view, it looks like, but some of the sidewalks seem to go to nowhere. So we just wanted to kind of ask if the sidewalks could be looked at again, and was there an intention to have sidewalks along the entries of those buildings?
Well, and then, I'll add as far as, the sidewalks, a couple things that I added was, I think the overall sidewalk network needs to be looked at, because obviously, the residents are going to need access to the dumpsters, so they're going to need a sidewalk to get there. There's, as far as the, amenity building that was talked about before, how would, residents from the other, buildings get there? So just, I think the sidewalk, network, in general, needs to be looked at a little bit further to make sure that folks can get to everything that they need to get to.
And adding to that, Larry, we had talked about possibly doing something where there's street entry on those condo villas, not on the big structure, because I don't know if you're going to have a lobby that you're going to go into in that, but on the condos themselves, now that they're turned, there's walkways there. Does that show the entries?
All right, so walkways where, I'm sorry?
On the condo, on those, yep.
We do show.
Those are the villas? Are those villas?
Is there an elevation of the entry or?
The townhouses, I think he means.
Yeah.
Those, yeah, those 8.
Yeah, so there's entrances on both sides.
Okay. Do we know are they dressed up or are they just?
You'll see in the landscape plan, you'll see that, and in the elevation, you'll see the 2 access points.
And there's a landscaping plan, I think
Yeah.
Jared said that.
Yes,
That
which
will
we're going to
be
show you.
That we'll get, okay.
Yeah. It's mostly done, the courtyards have to be added.
I have a circulation question also. Just for when it's snowing and somebody wants to get from one side or the other of this complex, you imagine that the sidewalks will be shoveled, but the path will not be, correct? So people will go in the front, go around?
That's correct.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, just asking.
Yeah.
So our next comments, we're looking a little bit about the dumpster locations, which on the plan we reviewed, were looking like they were lining up with the driveways into the garages underneath. But I see on the plan here now they've been adjusted, it looks like for head-in garbage truck pickups?
Yes.
Are these, so these are going to be garbage trucks that are going to come in head-on and lift over, or they're going to be side load?
Yeah, Mike is still working through it right now, they're head-on.
Well, because they don't work then for head-on, they can't, nobody could access them. The truck couldn't access them the way they're shown now. So you have to go look at it.
Yeah, well, what we could do is include it on our auto turn and make sure it works. But you
Well, they
don't,
can't, they just can't, because, the dumpsters are perpendicular to, the roads.
Well, they've got them different
Jared,
there.
can you make that
it's
larger with
different
the
up there.
space that they're talking about
So
for
there
me?
was like a change.
yeah,
there.
we changed it, we angled it.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So, but I guess we don't know, how is the garbage coming out of the buildings? Are the individual people taking it to the dumpsters, or is it going to the basement and coming out?
Is there a
Yeah,
chute?
so There are garbage chutes in the building. It'll go down to a container inside, and then staff moves them out.
Okay.
Okay.
So no, if you live in there, you're not taking your garbage bag to the...
Right, so the distance from
It's
one
too
room
big.
to the dumpsters is really kind of irrelevant.
Right.
So I guess the key thing is just that they can be accessible by the
Yes.
trucks.
Yep. And by turning it, we recognized that was a problem. Not only that, is we wanted to pull it off of the walkway that was behind there, and you'll see in the landscape plan how we treated that too.
I mean, you just read my mind about the dumpster being right next to the trail, being right next
So
to
we
this
dealt with it.
nature moment.
We'll show you.
Yeah, okay,
no,
great.
no,
Thank
we
you.
get it. We totally get it.
Right.
Wildlife.
So we're not going to go through all our comments here,
Yeah.
but I do have a couple highlights. So we talked a little bit about also the surface treatment in the area between the two buildings, 3,300 and 3,200. It looks like you've already got a plan on getting a courtyard and some other improvements in there.
Yep.
Does that require any kind of fire access into that area?
Well, we submitted this plan to Dan Nichols for his review. I asked him to call me, and I mean, that's where we're at. Generally, we try to get 3 sides accessible on the building, and so we're close. So I'll get his comments, and we'll go from there.
Okay. And then at the left end of those buildings is a retaining wall that looked like
That
it
is
was
correct.
about 9 feet high on the grading plan we saw.
That is correct.
And we're assuming there's going to be some kind of railing or protection at the top
That
of
is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Chris, it's a site wall, so you gotta show it on your plans. with
Yeah,
the
it's
railing.
on there with some,
Yep.
preliminary
Yep.
grades.
This
We'll
one
get
also
to
gonna
that.
have a pool.
Before we move on, and, so on these condo buildings, there's only one entrance?
Garage entrance?
No, I mean, main entrance, each,
Yeah, well, there's 2 in the courtyard, and then there's one in the
oh,
front.
okay, I'm looking at an old,
Yeah, the old plan only showed the one. This shows
did we
more
get
now.
this plan?
No. it
This
came-
is
it
new.
came
It's brand new,
before.
Pete. It's brand new.
We're all seeing it
Why
for the
we're
first
here.
time.
But I'm glad you did, listen, I'm glad you did it, because
It shows that they were
we've
thinking about it.
addressing stuff that you've identified
Yep.
that we
Yeah.
anticipated would be an issue.
Yeah, a lot of our comments in here, you've got in the new plan a different way, so I think there is progress. But
Oh, that's
It
good.
is, right.
Obviously
right.
share this and hope to see
Yeah, I mean,
it addressed.
they're like draft comments.
Yeah,
They're-
no, it's very helpful. So keep going.
Yeah.
So clarifying the emergency exits, it looks like you're working on, that's a great thing. We talked about dumpster locations already. And then with the grading, I think we talked a little bit about just getting that clarified and making sure, I guess one of the things we were looking at is there ever been any cut and fill calculations for this phase?
We can provide it.
Okay.
I mean, Passrow has a, earthwork, program, and once we're set, he'll run the counts on it.
Okay, so I think, again, the planning board's already talked about understanding the elevations of the buildings and things like that a little better with the architecture.
Did you guys want to go through, the grading and drainage before we make any?
Yeah, so
Comments
the
or-
next sheet here is the grading. We'll go through that. Big picture, any comments you have, let us know. So again, the concept here, and this was the same concept that we did last fall, where these buildings are sitting on top of a knoll. We cut them in to put the podium in for the garage, and the south side of the garage, Jared, if you could just show them on both sides, south, here, let me go back there. This guy here is cut in. So effectively, this is a 4-story building with the podium garage buried on the street side, and same thing here, so West Orange is over here. They see, remember we went out there with the drone and did all that. We had to, by flipping the driveways, we had to reconfigure the storm water practices and the bio areas, and so we had one larger, a couple here, but now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all graded in there. We show all the sidewalks to the access on the front of the townhouses, and you'll see in the landscape plan how that was beefed up. This is the same design, nothing has changed here. If you had, Pete, if you had any detailed questions, Chris, of course, is here, can answer that. We put all the grade of the courtyard is the same grade as the first floor elevation, and that's 12-foot separation, and the ceiling heights in here are 10 feet. Yep, so they're 10 feet, they're not 8, they're not 9, they're 10.
It will be floor to ceiling 10, but with the soffits and dogs and stuff, it will be like townhouse 9 and change. Like
Okay, okay.
We'll start with 10.
And again, the access for the garage is here, because we're buried here on the south side, and this is the east side, and then the access to the garage is here, 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 and here. What's nice about these units, and that was presented last time, and Tom can get in that, these end units have these magnificent, rooftop decks. So, all right, so go through. Any questions on the grading?
I just had a question about the stormwater, how you have it in like 3 different spots now because you had to put the driveways in the back, you know what I'm trying to say. Will those be planted, or are they just going to look like ponds, or are they going to have...
They're planted.
They're planted,
You'll see
okay.
Great.
Did you have any comments on that?
Yeah, we had some basic comments on some of the grading, just sort of asking to have it understood more and pointing out what some of the heights and elevations meant. In general, for the utility plans, we were asking to have some of the stuff on utility plans a little bit better keyed in reference to the details so we can make those connections a little more clearly. And I think the other thing on the utility plan was, I know it was preliminary and sort of in flux, but making sure we get all the pipe sizes, types, all those things that we need to see labeled.
Again, the grading plan is right here. If you wanted to come on down.
One thing that I
Take a look at it.
I didn't add to our letter, which, you guys know, it's always a comment, is, the material and stockpile, like storage area, like
Yep.
staging area where a contractor's gonna stage, material gonna be stored, stockpiles. I assume you're trucking the material to, the area further, like north, right?
Yes, you mean excess material?
Yeah.
Yes, that'll go to phase 2B.
I forgot to ask on the layout plan, which kind of corresponds with, the grading plan, is like curbing. I didn't see a lot of double line, like curbing, and usually, all of your sites are curbed. So I'm making an assumption it's still going to be that way for this.
Well, in some cases where we're draining into a bio area, we just sheet flow right into it.
Okay, so where there are curbs, it seemed like there was, I didn't see, and again, maybe like...
Generally, they're going to be on the building side. Every parking area that's on the building side is curbed. On the outboard side of that, where there's a bio area, and we can go into the grading plan. Let me show you.
Well, the grading plan didn't seem to have locations of catch basins in the parking lots where...
Yeah, zoom in here, Sharon. Zoom into that. So what's happening here is that there's a curb on this side, right, on the building side. No curb on this side. This just sheet flows right into this bio area. So there's no drainage here, just sheet flow, which is the preferred way to do it.
Yeah, that's all right.
We could start to annotate out some begin curve, end curve, and some...
Yeah, I think if you just go detail, the curb better, and so we can understand how it's like draining and make sure, well, you're going to make sure you've got like catch basins along the curb where you need them, so.
And then those bioretention areas that do have sheet flow into it are going to have some kind of pre-treatment. Those are some of the
Yes.
comments we put into our stormwater comments.
Yep.
And that helps, that pre-treatment helps sort of give it a border or an edge to the parking lot.
Yes, it does. It does. And so here on this side, here too, curb on the building side, no curb on this side. You can see the contour, sheet flowing right into it. same thing here, there's no curb around here, this will sheet flow into it.
And it's a gradual and relatively not so deep practice too.
Yeah, this one here, Chris, we need to look at, it's showing that there's no curb here, the idea would get into here, I think we gotta add a curb here, and get it down. Yeah, so we'll look at that.
Just remember, I mean, obviously, if we have light winters, where we don't get a lot of snow, we have a winter like we had this past winter, if you're counting on sheet flow getting off of the parking lot into like a swale, when there's like snowbanks there, that's going to be
Yeah, no,
blocked. So
that one.
just, again,
Yep.
that's really, like your issue more than our issue, but
Yeah.
just, think about it, that's all.
There's a swale there, so I think we should probably look at piping it.
Just look at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you wanted to talk about the pond and the stormwater design at all, or if you want us to just.
We can
Sure.
talk about it, yeah,
Yeah.
let's,
Yeah, it's like the highlight of the whole project, right? The drainage, we don't,
So-
the elevations don't mean anything.
So before we get there, for topo and utilities, those are supposed to be shown on the preliminary subdivision plat.
right.
If that changes and it's going to go to, what do you call that plan, Pete?
Informational
An informational sheet? The planning board's going to have to acknowledge that when we're doing the subdivision.
Okay.
And if that happens, it probably makes sense to have those like noted on the subdivision plans and referred to, so it links them.
Excellent, yep.
so just go through that again for me.
So, for the subdivision plat.
Yeah,
The
so,
preliminary.
right,
It's required to have grading and 2-foot contour intervals and all the details for the utilities. I believe last time we did an informational
Yeah.
sheet as a supplement. The planning board will have to acknowledge that in the resolution for the preliminary plat.
okay.
And there's probably some other things that you'll want to either waive or reference as well.
So that would be the way we'd want to go, otherwise it's just really,
It's a lot.
It becomes complicated,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, pond.
So our main, I didn't get deep into the SWIP review on the pond, because
No pun intended?
it's not actually that deep. It didn't seem that deep. It didn't look like there was a lot of cut to make the pond.
4 feet.
And the overall depth's average of about 4 or 5 feet, it
Yep.
looks like in a normal situation. So that pond and that SWIP actually sort of directly connects to and relates to the Phase 2B SWIP as well. So there's a bunch of comments out on that. I know they're working on that. And because it sort of routes through that area, we asked to have a better understanding both of the outletting of that pond and how it relates to the other phases and is routed through the site and actually gets out, as well as on the inlet end, on the very upper end of the page there, it shows a second forebay. You see how there's like 2 ponds, sort of smaller ponds in there? So
Yeah.
one is obviously, we see pipes and stuff tied into it, but it looks like that upper one is also going to receive some flow from a future phase.
Correct.
So we just want to make sure we understand how that's being counted for in this pond. If there's a certain flow you can estimate at this point and account for feed into that pond now, so we can try to look at the whole picture of all that. So I think that's the general, I mean, in addition to seeing the comments that we already issued from Rich Renia on the Phase 2B, we think once those kind of get addressed and sorted out and incorporated into this phase's SWIP, we'll be able to better sink our teeth into it, if you will.
Okay, now the outlet for this pond will be a 36-inch pipe that goes through Lot 8, straight down into the wetlands, which
Now,
is,
isn't that-
would
I
show
think-
on the 2B plan.
So, right, so the outlet of that pond is going to go through what was, the Sterling, right?
Yes, correct.
Right, in that one, yes, I know
Yep.
what you're talking about.
Yep, yep.
Corner lot,
Yeah, that is,
Nice and loud.
the corner.
that is correct. The pond's shallow, and
We went with 4-on-1 slopes in the pond till you get to the deep pools. 3-on-1 would require a safety bench. However, we're still providing the aquatic bench, which is around the entire perimeter of the pond. So it's not too steep going into it, and we also have the aquatic bench there. We do have this whole pond modeled for all the tributary areas, which is part of the SWIP. So we'll have the whole HydroCAD model for the functionality of that as well.
And we anticipated the future second hotel, right?
Correct. Say that again, Larry?
We anticipated the future second hotel, the Crescent,
Is going to
neighborhood.
go into this?
Yes, goes into this.
And that would be it, just that second, like hotel, nothing
Yes.
with the single family
Correct.
above it? That's going to
Correct.
have its own deal, right?
Yes, yep.
So there was a drainage area accounted for in that, but it didn't look like it was hooked up to the system, so I would just ask you to take a look at that and make sure it's being routed through, please.
Okay.
And then with that pond, again, whether there's a safety bench or not, was there any kind of plan for any kind of barrier or fence around it or anything like that?
No fence.
Yeah, we discussed that at the last meeting, and, it seemed like as long as they provided, the safety bench and the aquatic bench, whichever one that the DEC requires, so you don't have to do fencing. But I did add a comment here that I believe that you are required to put up some signage.
Yes.
Around the pond. I forget like what it says, but it's in the DEC manual.
And at the outfall.
Yeah, we'll show that.
Basically like a skull and crossbones type of thing.
And then the other thing we just mentioned about the pond is making sure the maintenance access to any area you need to get to, the outlet structure in the 4 bays is
Yes,
clear.
so we show the maintenance access, and we have the access easement maintenance.
How are they going to get to the 4 bays from that access?
Yeah, we need to show that, so we got another one that we need to show.
Okay.
So we'll show that.
What was your question, Tom? How do they get to the,
The 4 bays are the little ponds where basically it's like almost pre-treatment before it goes to the main part of the pond.
You gotta
Okay.
clean
That's
those
where the
out.
sediment will
That's where the
accumulate.
maintenance.
That's what needs to be cleaned out.
oh, okay, thank you.
Very technical.
Well, again, with our pond, we have one of those. We're never quite sure what it was or why they did that.
It's like the sacrificial pond
Yeah,
that you can
yeah.
keep contained and clean that out and hopefully not muddy up the rest of your pond.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Maybe that's it, Chair.
That access, it's going to go, I have to think about that, but we will show it. We'll have a way to get in there.
So
Okay.
we're happy to answer any other questions on this. We'll share this and it'll go to the planning board.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
mean, and then, if you have like questions as you're going through it, we're always like available to hop on a call
Okay.
or meet, whatever.
Right, but then when the Crescent second hotel gets built, we'll have the access that way too. All right, so the next sheet would be the landscape plan. Lighting, so landscape and lighting is done. What you'll see here in this middle on Tuesday, you'll see all the landscaping for the courtyard. In there, we are going to add the pollinator plantings, on the trail. That'll be a good add.
Go on down.
Yeah, flip it here. Anything you want? Okay, good. You can see here there are plantings inside the bio areas, but we even have further detail on the bio areas in the coming sheets. The plant list, we made sure we didn't have any invasive species in there, and also we tied it to the Hart-Howerton design guideline plant list. So. Anything pop out? There's sycamores on the road. Yes, it's all, well, what's neat about it is each one of those plants is a block. So when you add it, it automatically updates the plant. list.
Nice.
So, so you're not counting every one, it's just what block
that
you
software
use.
work for you.
Yep, yep.
Some of what's planned here on the western side of Carriage Way, there were plants on Phase 2A, right? Trees that were planned, and we're changing that. Is that okay to reflect on this phase, or does it require us to make any changes to other plans?
Now we're strictly getting the 2A site plan.
Didn't we put notes on these saying something about substituting different,
I think we did that for the NRI.
We did the NR.
that was NRI?
No.
Yeah, we have.
It might be something we want to think about.
We did it with the Sterling also.
Sterling.
Yes,
The Sterling
yes.
part of it.
Yeah, 'cause-
There was a note on the Sterling part of it.
Is that,
And then NRI got it, and now this probably needs something
is,
like that.
and 2A is the villas, the
For
townhouses?
Yeah, so for example.
Okay,
The Phase 2 are the townhouses that are under construction. Carriage Way was designed, it had plantings on both sides of the road. We're now showing these sycamores here, those were not on the prior plans, it's a change in species type. But obviously the designs on the other side of the street are
right, but we may
changing.
not put the wording on 2A that said that substitutions.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure we get whatever.
We need to go back and talk to Tad about that, only
Can you
because 2A is
microphone,
separate.
please?
Oh, as you're saying, let Tad and I go back and have a conversation, because 2A is a separate site plan,
Yes,
so,
and it's the first one.
yeah.
And the landscaping needs to be in when those are complete, which I think will be before this phase goes in.
Well, that's, yeah, like,
Yeah.
we need to discuss that because there's construction.
Yeah, if it's gonna create a problem, we'll just match
Well,
whatever's approved.
let them have the discussion to figure out, but I think moving forward, we should build into our language about substitutions and just make sure that's a standard part of the final development plan.
Well, I think what we'll do
Right?
is, we'll add the note, but I think we should show what was approved on 2A. And then if we have the note on there, we want to substitute, then we'll do it. You know,
No,
in
but the
future.
note has to be on 2A, not, the
Right.
note here is not going to impact
That's what I'm saying, is
2A.
it wasn't, yes.
So,
Gotcha. So we're
let
gonna
let
show
us just go
2A.
back and think about it, because if this is a better, if this makes more sense design-wise, maybe you can apply for just an easy site plan modification for 2A for the landscaping, so that can continue on its own path and doesn't get caught up in this.
And when they do that, we can add language that allows substitutions in the future, right?
If, yeah, some reasonable language, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we've been trying to make it so that if something's unavailable or it dies and you can't replace it,
It gets muddy.
No, I know,
If it's
I
on
know.
two different
yeah.
Yeah,
plans,
Yeah.
and one phase doesn't go as soon as it's supposed to, and it
We're-
gets
well,
delayed.
right, we're
Moving
running,
forward-
that's,
moving
we're running into that right
forward.
now.
Yeah.
we're gonna show 2A on here.
Yep, okay.
As
No.
approved, and just keep moving
Okay.
forward here.
The other thing is, you don't know if you hit rock there and you can't plant those trees. You know, I mean, that's part of the problem, is the site dictates what's going to happen with it. What?
There's no rock
rocks
on
in
that
Dutchess
site.
County? Yeah, there's no rocks there.
And then just as, when you look at the road profile that you chose, make sure that you're matching whatever goes with that road
Yep,
profile for
yep.
this section.
Yep, we got it.
I forgot to ask this before, but as far as certificates of occupancy, so for the townhomes, are you going to build like all of them and then like CO at one point, at one time?
No, so the COs, and we met with the town on this, building inspector. Yeah, it's gonna be per building. Ted, you were there, right?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so, well, the idea would be the COs for the first 4, right? Is that what you want to do? Right.
How many
So it'll be per
townhomes do you have in
building.
this?
8.
8? So you're basically looking for 2 like phases of townhomes, COs?
3, could be 3.
So-
Each building would get CO'd.
He's talking about Phase 4 here.
I'm talking about phase 4,
Oh,
I'm
you-
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yes.
yeah, sorry. This one.
No, those two we're probably gonna build at the same time.
Those two will be built at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, what about, the condos? buildings.
Condos, no, we want to do per building. You start like 3,000.
Per building, or do you want to do like sets of buildings? Like, because really then you've got, I mean, why wouldn't you do like the 2 buildings that have, the parking lot in between them and get that all finished up and nicey nice and then like move on? I don't know, it's up to you. We'll just have to, I mean, if you want to go break them up.
We will add a phasing plan.
Right, so then we'll have to figure out, similar to what we did for, the one and only project, okay, here's what you need to have in for, a CO for building number 1 or building number 2, whatever. So we'll figure that out, that's fine. But if you're going to want, like COs in.
No, wait, so we're going to build this same time, there's 2 buildings, but we might be completing the first building sooner than if I have like 30 buyers there.
Sure, I
wanna
understand.
get that
Yeah, of course.
CO done, and
Yeah.
I'm still might be working to finishing up some.
We can have a separate discussion on that once, like you guys get a little bit, more as to what you're going to want. And then we can have a discussion and we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Do we need to show a phasing plan on this, for the site plan?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I would think that, and I didn't look at the erosion control plans, but I would, well, I don't know, maybe there doesn't need to be.
Well, it seems like 2 different things, the erosion control plan, construction phasing versus building CO phasing. So I think the building CO phasing might make more sense in the site plans because it's not connected.
Yeah,
to the erosion controls.
that's right, the building CO
Like what-
phasing plan.
Like
right.
what they did, Larry, on the, one and only project, and it was much more involved in this, but it's, but it's something that you're probably going to be looking for as you, develop other, phases. They had included a separate phasing plan that was just for more or less like COs, Tad, or something
Yeah,
like
for a
that?
CO. So when the building permit application comes in, there is a box around each building that says, this is the landscaping that's shown on the landscaping plan,
For
and
this
this
building.
needs to be in this
Before
area
CO.
before the
For
CO.
that,
So you
okay.
take the landscaping plan and then you cut out sections per what your
Overlays.
expectations
Like a
are.
little plot plan, just
Okay.
for,
Yeah.
Okay.
The building permit.
All right,
We'll
so,
work through
The
that.
jigsaw puzzle.
so the phasing,
Right, exactly.
okay, the phasing plan is called a CO, a building CO phasing plan.
Yeah, we'll look at it. I forget what it was called on the, one and only. You can call it whatever you think's applicable, but,
Okay.
We don't want you to get stuck.
right. We don't want you to-
We
Certification
just want to
phasing
know what
plan or
we're supposed to
something.
see.
Okay.
Certification phasing.
Okay, okay,
Right,
okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. The whole, trying not to hold you up.
All right, that makes sense, okay. All right. Anything else on the landscape plan? Okay, why don't we move on? A lighting plan. The lighting is laid out and done, so
You're up.
consultants will review that.
I would like to reserve the right to review the landscaping plants.
Of course.
Thank you.
If I
No.
I mentioned one more thing we forgot. The truck turning plan did show some overhangs.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So we just want to make sure as we're looking at the lighting and the landscaping that there's no obstacles within those overhangs.
Yes, so Chris will, we made sure Pass Row showed the lighting, the signage, landscaping, so we'll get all that on there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Get that updated.
Yeah, we know the fire chief will want that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing below 12 feet or whatever.
All right, next one. Yeah, that's the truck turning, so we talked about that. Next one.
Sorry, Larry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but no lighting on the path around the pond?
No.
Okay.
Is that how they?
I mean, there's spillover light,
I see that. I just mean on the
you know,
actual path. I don't see anything.
no. It's a natural kind of,
And would it be like a crushed stone path?
yes,
Okay, so you can make sure that's light colored, right?
yes.
There's only one pool though between all the buildings, right? So these
Yeah, I mean, we have miles of this stuff all through,
Okay.
Belfield.
And it's okay for animals
It's better for animals to not have the light.
It's better for animals not, what, Ted?
to what?
It's better for the animals to not have the light.
Oh, no, I understood, the light, yes.
But walking though, what do you stop at?
Well, yeah, a
Yeah,
flashlight.
well.
What about bollards?
I mean, if you're hardcore, you have your headlamps, you have your,
Well,
well, I mean, the dog has its own little
Yeah, but this
flashlight.
is how people are getting to and from the amenities.
yeah.
I mean, from a safety perspective,
As a woman, I would not walk that at night.
agreed.
I mean, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, we lit this thing up, I guess there's a 1 foot, 1 foot candle minimum, 5 max, so we gotta check that. Chris, make sure you got, yeah, it's right here.
Would you,
Yeah, what
would
about
you
local-
consider things like bollard lighting?
Sidewalk.
Path lighting, right?
Yeah, path
Like we've seen,
No,
like little bollards?
I think what we would do
One and only.
is, put lighting on the building. But when you're, all the conduit electrical around that whole thing, and then you're lighting up the whole
People getting
path,
to
all the sidewalks have lights.
What about just standalone solar for,
I don't think they're reliable. Well,
They're not reliable.
they're
how-
not,
and how do these
it's
people
it's
get
hard to control.
still?
And a half a mile of ballards would be crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How about a section though? I mean.
What would you recommend, Don? Do you have any brilliant ideas?
Don't go out at night.
Wear a headlamp.
Uranium.
You really don't, at
No,
night with
what
people
you
at the
wanna
pond.
do, what you want to do is the walkways on carriageway.
Yeah.
And that's where you go, walk down to the Village Green on the carriageway.
I would
Okay.
discourage people walking around the pond at night.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The turtles will get you.
Well, bear.
There's no turtles on the property.
So I think this goes back to Pete's earlier question, which was show us how everyone's getting from one building to the other, and then the board can evaluate what makes
Getting
sense.
from what?
From one building to another.
Oh,
Sidewalk,
The-
like network in general.
Yeah,
So
like
you
a-
showed us-
like a
you showed us
pedestrian
how it-
circulation.
Yeah,
other
you showed us
thing-
how they're gonna walk the dog and
The other
take a
thing
jog but how do they
to-
get back and forth?
We talked about walkable streets here, right? I mean, the traffic here is very low, obviously, so, I mean, they would be walking on the street.
And they're not necessarily, I mean, Pete, correct me if I'm wrong, but so if I live in 3000 and I want to go hang out in the courtyard up at 3200, 3300, yeah, is that what you mean, going from like those?
Yeah, how you go from one end of
Yeah,
the site to the other
right.
end of the site.
I mean, in all fairness, people are not going to go to the other building to sit and use the other amenities. Like, they're going to stay in their little
Community.
twin units.
Except maybe for the pool,
Except for
right?
the pool.
Well, but I thought I heard you,
No, we're gonna have a pool,
yeah.
those two buildings also gonna have a pool.
Oh,
It has its own pool?
okay, I'm sorry, I
So I think
didn't know that.
that changes things a little
Yeah.
bit
Okay,
as far as
I thought they were
circulation.
sharing the
Yeah.
amenities
Yeah.
in the one.
I didn't want to call you out on that, but I did hear you say that to Larry. I just didn't know if it
Well,
was for
that's-
sure.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
new.
Okay,
Well,
so they're
okay.
each, they're each very contained as far
Okay,
as
okay.
not having to,
Yeah, and
share
in my
amenities.
experience, people don't really,
they don't want to anyway.
they don't go over to the other side, unless they visiting a friend.
All right, good, good.
Okay,
So
So
there's no need to go
That's
from
going to be
there
on the next plan?
to there.
Is it indoor or outdoor?
What?
The pool?
outdoor.
Outdoor.
Okay.
All right, so, any more questions on the lighting? Can you zoom in on that? I want to see the average panels. Zoom into the chart, see if you have it in there. Yeah, zoom in more. So Chris, on this chart, give the average, foot candles.
Oh,
and
yeah, there
bags.
should be a separate table that, besides that, if it's not on there, we'll pop it up.
Okay, pop it up.
With
Ah,
the
yes.
lighting zones.
Yep.
I need coffee.
All right, so we'll go that, next sheet. The fire trucks, we talked about that, next sheet. We're getting into the pond details, but we talked about the pond. We do owe you another cross-section, and of course, the planting of the aquatic fence. Excellent. This gets into the bio areas, defining them, showing the grading of them. Next one. And this shows the planting of the bio areas, so we'll finish this up for Tuesday's submission.
Do those details show your pretreatment too, for the stormwater?
Yeah, they're gonna have to, so we'll have to do that, right?
Yep, we'll
Okay.
put the diaphragms on there.
Yep.
And one other thing that I put in my letter that I probably should have asked you before was on the Phase 2A townhomes, there were generators for those like units. Are there going to be generators for these like townhomes or
the condos?
And/or the condos?
We could show the pad, Mike, for the generator, whether you use it or not. You want to see the pad.
Well, if they're gonna go be there, they have to be on. If you're gonna propose them, they need to be on the site plan.
No, I know, that's what we could show on the site plan, and if he chooses not to do them, then they come off.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think so too. I think you're gonna have
It's
to do
harder to
it.
add them.
It's too many people.
Exactly. It's easier to show them where
Yeah, it's
they
easier to
would
show.
go.
And
We're
you
gonna
have all the notes from
We're-
Phase like 2A,
Yeah, yeah,
like
we're gonna show 'em.
exercising at a certain time and blah, blah, blah. Landscaping around them if you're gonna put them in.
On the site plan, we do show 3 monument signs for each parcel, 22, 23, 24. We will have to update the sign manual, and so we're working on that.
Emergency use only.
All right, any other questions on the site plan? I'm going to move to the preliminary plat.
I just keep thinking about the pond and it's, how it's going to change, right? I mean, once the crescent gets built, so you might have to put some things in place for before you start building the crescent to handle runoff and that type of thing. And then it changes a little bit once everything gets put in place. But I think the thing I'm thinking of is in the event of a, I don't even know what they're calling them now, 100-year storm, which we now get every year. But how would that get handled before the crescent gets put in? Because once the crescent gets put in, you can put all these little layers of, kind of stopping it as it comes down. But until then, what would you do?
Okay, well, that's a pre-development condition, right? So he's
Yep.
modeled that in there, and then he's had to model the post-development condition too.
And there's pre and post development of the entire site and then of each
Yeah,
of these
exactly.
these mini
Yep.
phases.
Yep.
Okay, so that's all getting worked in. I just,
Yeah.
again, I look out, now every time I look at our
We didn't do an
pond,
elevation yet.
I'm thinking of these things that I see all the time. So when we get a big storm, I can see the level goes way up and I can see all of the algae goes down and it ends up clogging the drains. So we have to go and we have to clear it out. So it becomes like a big storm drain, really, and you have to maintain it that way. But then once you do, it's free flowing.
Yeah, now the pond is 4B, master HOA. They will be maintaining it. We
Right, okay.
maintaining it, yeah.
Yep.
It's not the condos.
Yep. So I'm just thinking of like, there's actually a lot of maintenance that has to, and a lot of oversight that you have to do to keep it a,
Understood. Understood.
thanks.
So is there a mechanism when the water flows into the 3-foot diameter pipe? Is there a mechanism to keep turtles out? Sorry,
Should be a
hate to mention turtles.
Yeah, well, so I'm glad you mentioned
And
it.
frogs.
We're working with DEC. What we're proposing is to put a barrier from St. Andrews to West Dorsey, complete turtle barrier.
Oh,
So
is
as
it
turtles
permanent?
migrate from the east to the west, it's
Ah.
blocked by that barrier. So
Wow.
that's the idea.
And that would be permanent or just during construction?
During construction, but construction is, what, 3 years, Tom? 3 years? 3 years.
Okay,
3 years.
interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So instead of each phase having the turtle fence, we're going to go to the source and block it.
Ah,
And there should be some trash racks or some kind of grading on the stormwater outlet structure.
Correct, there's an outlet
But it
structure.
might make sense to consider a tighter grading on that or a tighter screen of some kind for a species potentially.
yeah. Because with ours, it goes under, in a conduit, but it just goes out to a wetland on the other side of the road.
Okay.
And that,
Oh,
they swim
yeah.
back up, they
Yep.
come back in, but you're
Um,
talking about a
okay, you
drop
know-
down into a wetland
They're talking
far
about-
away.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk to the biologist about the inlet sizing for, but it's going to have a grate on it that it should keep them out.
Okay. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, so let's go to the preliminary plat.
Do you want to do elevations or plat?
Oh, I'm sorry, elevations. It's time for you to...
No, you're good.
You're good.
All right, so the townhomes were presented last round
Yes.
as well. I know there was a comment about them. We added some additional landscaping, seeing the updated landscaping plan, we can certainly reflect that in these elevations. And I think I just want to maybe hear from the board, maybe what is needed to kind of satisfy the request to kind of learn more about the front of the building?
I would ask my colleague, Mr. Waters.
Well, is this talking about the entry or the?
Yes.
The entry and the landscaping, or?
You had asked specifically about the entry. and how-
Entries, yeah.
Yeah, so show them where the entries are. Make sure it's very clear.
Correct.
And feel free to blow it up if you'd like to.
Yeah.
At the top?
Yep, it's at the top.
Oh, I have to, okay.
Ah, good.
Yeah, so kind of at the main, the gable, the
Yep.
three-story structure, that
Yep.
would be kind of the main entry point into the residence.
Okay,
That's the front.
the gable one is the entry.
Yep, so there's four units kind of mirrored on the middle, very similar to, the townhouses across the street. And so the gable kind of represents the main entry point to each residence.
And then, what are what kind of door is one, are they a swing door, or are they,
Yeah, so it
sliding
would be
door,
a
pivot door?
pivot door, yeah.
Pivot
So,
door?
yeah, you can kind of see the
Pin?
pin.
Okay,
yeah.
yep, okay,
So-
good. I like that, okay.
So, we can keep the proportions that way, while, it's a pretty elegant way of entering as well.
What's a pivot door?
I was,
what?
Instead of
And what's it called?
hinges, pivot
Pivots.
just essentially has, 2 points at the top and the bottom.
it's a dowel system, instead of a hinge, it's a dowel, so it spins.
Oh.
It's kind of like a revolving door in a building.
Like instead of
It's in the
Only
center.
one door.
at this point, it's
No,
almost
it's
like
on
at
the
the
side,
middle.
but it pivots. so
And with
that
glass, you
it's
can kind of
not
structure it
like
in a
a
way where you can
slide.
kind of maintain it.
So that like,
Okay.
Yeah, you can push
Thank
it with a
you.
finger.
so
Yes.
it's like it's gonna
Yeah,
match
they're
up
pretty, they're on
with
the
this other.
bearings, so they are.
Have I seen them on
you have to
buildings,
meet
like
your,
commercial buildings?
weight.
Yeah.
Because the ones that look more like they could be windows or
Yes.
doors.
Yes.
So when I had thought about it, I thought about like a partial, something to define it as an entry a little bit more, rather than just the door being flush. Now, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to that being flush, but I thought maybe there would be like a little, maybe an alcove or something, an overhang, a natural pushback, whether it's 4 feet back or protrudes out, or something to define it a little bit more, but.
Okay, yeah, maybe what we can do is, I think there's some variation in the grade of how this would actually work, so we can kind of define that, show I think that might help where like the step is. to enter.
Exactly.
And then kind of like what we did with the condos, kind of do some.
A little offside,
Just, yeah, we'll give you that oblique view to
Isometric,
kind of
yeah.
help.
Yep.
What do you call it?
Isometric.
We have,
Yeah.
Isometric
this
plan.
is the most recent, we just moved the garages back, so we're gonna have like.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
show.
So these still have the garages up front, which you can kind of see. There is some indentation.
There is a.
Yeah, I mean, people
okay,
are
so
gonna
it's
want
set-
an overhang
so it's
anyway,
set
right?
back. In other words, the
Correct.
foundation or the footprint is set back.
To protect the door itself
Yeah.
also makes it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, when
for
you come in
whether-
from the rain
yeah,
or
for
whatever,
driving
everybody's
rain.
gonna want
Yep.
that. They'll do that.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
exactly, balconies in the front, so
Yeah.
this one's gonna have like the big overhang, and the
Yeah.
doors will be slightly in.
Okay, yep,
And on these also, we'll play with the shading, you know, because we do obviously need to provide elevation still, help make those pop a little bit, but I think those rendered or, you know,
And then
Axon views help.
these obviously have, do they have like personal elevators inside? Or we doing just staircases?
It is elevators.
There is.
Oh, there are,
okay,
okay.
so Like a Wapaka or some kind of a personal elevator?
Oh, well, I want to do the similar what we're gonna have at,
The
the original
townhouse.
townhomes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. And where, is that off of those entries? I mean, do you think you'll put it near the entry? So you can go up? I don't know the floor. I don't need to get into the floor plan really, but it's just nice to know where that is located.
We have a concept on the floor plan, we haven't finalized everything yet, so, because Tom and I are gonna work on that, to do this.
Yep, and then those are going to have postal delivery, is that correct? Are they going to have postal?
Individual
Are the
or
postman going to
like where the
go to
mailboxes?
Like, where's the mailboxes going to be?
Oh,
Well,
Well, that's why I was thinking if you do the vestibule, you could put a box right there, and they can get it from the inside.
but townhouses should have a postal delivery because that's individual
Yeah.
tax and lot.
So you'll put a main box out in front or something in the landscaping, where general box for everyone?
I thought we had.
Mailboxes separate for,
Yeah, a gang of four, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but you could, if you do that vestibule, you could do them separately. It's only four. Four.
I think just from an organization point of view, you know how we were talking about doing an isometric so that people can see the steps back. It'd also be really interesting because when I was down below looking at the plan, I noticed that some of them have a shared sidewalk to their front doors and some have dedicated individual,
Probably ones
depending
on the ends,
upon
yeah.
probably topography and everything else. If you could include those in your isometric,
Yeah.
so that we can see how people are getting from the
Entranceways, yeah.
sidewalk to their front door and how it's delineated with surface material and landscaping, I think would be, bring it to
Right,
life
right.
a little bit more, instead of people having to look at plan and this elevation, sort of give them a hybrid.
Okay.
Thank you.
And just another question about, did we resolve with the post office in general? There was some discussion years ago about potential issues because it's private roads and private.
Yeah, so we're scheduling a meeting with the postmaster, and it's just been something that's on our list to do. But I thought we had a gang of four in front of each building for mail service, and Mike wants to look at doing each individual, so we'll follow up on that.
Right, and the postmaster may have some input into that, right?
Yeah, he's going to.
Yeah.
He's going to.
Yeah,
There's very particular ways
Yes.
he wants
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
I mean,
We did get a hold of the school district, right? They don't want to have bus stops inside Belfield,
no,
north and south.
yep.
So it'll be on West Dorsey.
There's already a bus stop out.
Yeah, there's already a bus stop there, so. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Yep.
Anything else?
So no, and then obviously since that's a little bit of a going in, you're going to have the sidewalk, there's going to be some kind of plantings and things like that, to be a landscaping plan.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah, the landscape
It
plan
does
is
show it.
done.
They're like
Yeah.
individual
part of
little
the new-
gardens
yeah.
in front of it.
Yeah.
It does show in
Yeah.
the landscape plan. It's just hard to see from here, but
And
when I went down, I noticed
Yeah,
it.
and then where you said they're sharing it, that could maybe be a little planting bed in between the two walkways, so it kind of wishbones, you know, to the building.
It does do that.
It does do that, too?
Yeah.
Well,
He's
see
got
there?
it on the,
Great minds think alike.
it's hard to see.
Okay,
That's why I went down.
Okay, good. So then I'll wait to see the plans in
All the
hand,
good
so.
stuff in the new plans.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank
I
you.
do think that like bird's eye with the front yard will help with the entry and understanding all of that.
Yeah, we can,
There you go, you got the bird's eye.
love the bird's eye.
But I like the fact
Everybody
that you
loves the
have
bird's
front
eye.
and
Yeah.
rear entrances.
Yeah.
I think that makes them really accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this
You come home, you
overall
come in the
shift
back
has helped a lot
entrance,
as well.
you want to go down to the Village Green, you go out the front entrance.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think you're in a place like this, you want to have your own entry, not,
Yeah, for sure.
so I think it works.
Especially this product.
And not come in just in a garage.
Right,
So,
right.
so which just makes it elevates it, I think.
It does, flipping them
Yeah.
around and back.
Yep.
Good idea,
Yep, yep.
good idea. We scrambled and made that work. All right, so we'll move over to the plat.
Do we have any questions from the consultants or Tad on
Oh, yeah.
the
let's-
architecture? Okay.
We'll share.
I'll take, can I take?
Perfect, yeah, give it Jerry. Plat. Got one more?
And no changes to architecture for the big buildings?
Well, there will be some change to 32 and 3300 with the modifications to the drive island. It'll be now much simpler, very similar to 3000. The length is the main change.
Okay, the preliminary, we got Tad's comments, we'll get them to, we'll review them, we'll follow up.
Thank you, Tad.
We'll follow up, Tad, if we have any comments on it, but we'll get them to Labella, and we'll get as much of them addressed before Tuesday. But this is what we were looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
comments, so we know what to
Yep.
do and move forward.
No, I'm very happy. Everybody is piping up and has lots of input.
Yeah, so on here, we made adjustments to lots 23 and 24, so those have been made with updated easements. And there's a few more easements that we'll need to get on there. 117 and 118 have not changed, but you can see all the easements, sewer, general purpose easements all going through there. We want to get this preliminary plat, approved and get to final ASAP so we can start writing all the easements and doing that. So again, thank you, Tad, for getting this to us. We'll get this updated in our submittal for Tuesday. Any questions on that? On the plat?
I mean, I've got more that are
look, she brought
written on the
microphone.
plan, but Pete, did you guys do anything for the subdivision?
We started a review of the subdivision. It was basic comments on just what we reviewed had a lot of text conflicts and some blanks as far as deed references and things like that. I think the color coding is probably helpful, but without a key or a legend that goes with that.
We're going to add it, yeah.
And then the other thing that goes with that is if that's
Yeah.
trying to be put on a filed map, the color's not going to translate on.
No, understood.
This is just for us, yeah.
Yep.
It's just for us.
So that was about as far as I got into the review, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been much over the years that, like, from an engineering standpoint, that we would typically look at. It's mostly just looking at the easements, are they conveying flow from one phase to the next? You may want to get with, you are planning on getting with the fire department on, access, but they should also take a look at the hydrants, where you're going to have hydrants, because perhaps if some of these water mains have to be extended. And actually, you're not going to go finalize these until you get further along with the health department, right?
Well, from a plat standpoint, I think moving along pretty quickly. The health department, we expect to get 2B approved, very close to getting that approved with the DOH. We got their final comment.
Right, and I'm talking about for this one.
Yeah, for this one, for the plat, Chris, what's the rule on DOH approving a plat? It has to be a certain size. They're not going to.
The acreage is enough that I don't think they'd require you to approve the water and sewer for a subdivision.
2 weeks ago.
Right. So they can stamp permission to file almost the way this is being presented right now. Obviously, we got to have all the easements done. But I don't anticipate them being a problem. The biggest issue here will be the easements, drawing them all up, getting legal involved, doing the declaration of easements, and making sure Victoria and I sit down and Tad, and we make sure that all the easements are included, everything, all the lots have access to water and sewer and access easements. There's a few in there.
So if you have, I think before you mentioned about the hotel, the Second Lake Hotel's drainage would come into the pond that's located on lot 4B. So wouldn't there need to be a stormwater easement on 4B to accept
Yes.
flow? Have to think about that one probably.
I think it goes in.
Probably not, right?
I think it goes in when the Crescent Hotel goes, because right now it's going to take the pre-development flow.
All right, well, we can think about that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not.
Could
too
you
worried about it.
explain how the initial submission of this was 4 and this new one is 4 and 5 phases? What is phase 5?
Phase 5 is lots 117 and 118, the Karras lot.
That's
Okay.
up here, so this used to, this was phase 3, but these two areas are now 5.
And what's going to happen on that?
Karras lot, Pass Row is submitting a site plan. Do you want to give them an update on that?
We have an
application or
Karras something.
Yeah, we're continuing to work on that. We're planning to submit that next week as well.
I'm going to stay like close here.
Okay.
What about the status of the road entryways on the county road?
Thank you.
The county roads have been approved. The locations have been approved. And now the next step for Chris is to work with DPW and get those driveway curb cuts designed. And not only designed, but then we have go ahead and get the sewer in, right? The sewer, the force main in, and the sidewalk. One thing we'll have to add on the St. Andrews is the sidewalk easement. What's shown on this plat right now is just the sewer force main easement, but we will have to show the sidewalk, even though they will overlap. And the idea with the sidewalk is it'll go behind the guide rail that's out there.
Right.
Where there's not a guide rail, we're either going to add one or we'll try to pull it up into, further off the road. So we'll show the sidewalk easement on there. But other than that, we worked through all the easements. We believe we have them all. And again, we're going to review Tad's comments here, and we'll address them, and we'll be ready to go for Tuesday.
So the sewer easement, well, what's the light yellow?
The light yellow is a multi-purpose easement, so there's water and sewer in there, because each one wanted 20, so it was a clever way of, we went right-of-way to right-of-way, edge to edge, 50 feet. So it's a multi-purpose easement for any number of uses, water, sewer,
Utilities.
So the multi-purpose easement going to the sewer treatment plant from St. Andrews,
Yep.
down
And
towards
then what
the...
happens, oh, you might as well pull it up. Oh, you got it. Yeah, there it is right there. Thank you, Jared. You're awesome. Thanks for that.
So there are 2 accesses of the sewer across a stream, and it appears as though that stream is piped from one end to the other.
Yeah.
I strongly suggest not.
No, we didn't do that pipe. It exists.
What?
If you want to walk it, it is there. There's a pipe. Can't hear a word. Culvert pipe.
Oh, we can't hear you really.
So
You
who
just give
put
the whole
that
thing,
pipe
yeah.
and culvert in?
Jesuits, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody blames the church.
Yeah, this water course goes here, and it disappears. And it pops out here, and comes on down. And the Corps walked it, and they determined that this is what they wanted to take up to here, and then pick it back up to here.
And that's the water course that comes out behind, or by where the sewage plant
Yes.
is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And what about there was a pipe there?
Well,
That was the
I'm
part
not
that
sure
we
that's
couldn't hear.
actual pipe. What they would do is build stone, boxes, and the water would flow
Line
through.
ditch.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like a culvert.
Yeah.
And that's what's there now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And along that multipurpose easement, there seem to be a couple of other crossings that would require a culvert or some kind of a drainage accommodation under that. Those accommodations are supposed to be shown in detail on the preliminary plat. So somehow we're going to have to figure out how to address that.
Okay, I'm going to have to come over there.
Now you're in trouble, Tad.
Yeah.
Of course, always.
Just make sure you both use your microphones.
So I believe there's some sort of a crossing
We need a cameraman on wheels.
near St. Andrews, and it looks like there's one kind of halfway,
Oh, okay.
and then there's another one that might be in this area. And then I'm not sure about this, what happens down in here, it's kind of difficult to see.
Yeah, it stays on this side. Yeah, it stays on the east, the north side.
And then this is, it's going
Yeah.
under that.
Yeah,
Waterway?
the idea here is we would directionally bore under, we don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
Directionally bore there. This right here, I think is almost a high point. I'm not sure that's close. There is.
So there might be a culvert there already? Yeah. So I think those are supposed to be shown
Oh,
somewhere.
shown, okay. Okay, we can show it, but the actual design.
This is already, there was one you were like beneath.
All right.
No,
And,
Excuse me. Sorry.
he has to go.
Oh, yeah. Yes, no, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yes.
See you later.
Looking forward to the full submission.
Thank you so much.
All right, I know what you need, so we'll get that
Okay,
on
good.
there.
You had your huddle and,
Yep.
okay, good.
So we'll have that all set and submitted for Tuesday. So that's 6:30. The idea is to make the planning board meeting for July 15th.
Yep. Can you give us an update on Scenic Hudson and the conservation easement?
Yes. I'll give you an update if Jared wants to add anything, but the big picture there is they've agreed to accept the easement. We just need to agree on the boundary of it, and we're getting into our next phase. Phase 6 will be the 160 townhouses. That lot is adjacent to the easement, so we want to make sure we get the civil done before we finalize the design of the easement, and they're okay with that.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. Anything else, Jared?
Nothing else yet.
You want to-
That's good.
And I know that when we met with them back in the winter, they were saying they wanted to try to have this, to get to this point by June. You guys
Yeah.
did a great job of moving that along.
We will not have the easement done by June.
No, no,
Right,
but,
okay.
but all the agreement, like, you had worked out
Yeah,
the fact that they have agreed to accept,
right.
and that, yeah,
So, yeah, the draft.
but there were a lot of,
A draft of the actual document should be coming hopefully soon, and, we'll keep the town plugged into that
Yes.
process as it progresses.
but that just means you worked through a number of issues to get to this point, so congratulations.
Yeah, once that easement is nailed down, it's done.
Yeah.
Right, so we got to make sure the civil for the next phase.
You don't have to go back and rewrite it.
Exactly. So that if we have a stormwater discharge going into the easement, they're aware of it now, before we transfer the easement. So it'd be very helpful if on 7/15, July 15th, that any comments from, any additional comments from Pete's team, Bonnie's team, that we get either, the day of the meeting, so that we can be able to address them, or the day before. And since July only has one planning board meeting, the next submittal date is July 21st. So any comments we receive at that meeting, we can address them and resubmit on the 21st for August 5th. So it's a nice, clean pathway forward. On the planning board meeting for July 15th, of course, we'll request a public hearing for August 5th. And we'll circulate county planning on
Waiting. They
July
withdrew the
15th.
last one and working on it. They expect to submit next week.
Yes, and
Sounds like a plan.
it sounds like a plan.
Sounds like
Okay.
And
mean,
I
our
believe
goal-
all the consultants are aware of this timeline.
Okay.
And I thank Renia Engineering for getting that first big round of comments in, because a lot of them have already been addressed.
Yeah.
And so now when they go through, there should be much less comments.
Right.
Um,
So we're pushing towards a conditional site plan approval in August.
Yep.
And, what are the conditions going to be? Well, we got to obviously get the plat filed. We got to get DOH approved, and we got to get DEC, ETR, finalized.
Yep.
And then address any final comments that may be outstanding.
Yep. I have not heard, but I'm happy to hear if anybody thinks there's any stumbling blocks to this timeline at this point, seeing what we've seen.
I haven't looked at the final plat requirements. I'm assuming we're going to want some kind of markers, property markers.
Yep.
I didn't see any on the preliminary.
Yep.
Okay.
Any new ones.
So, yeah, and I think that's
Okay,
on
yep,
here, right?
Yep.
It's like,
Typically reviews
Yep.
all the zoning tables.
Yep.
Well, we do.
okay.
Okay.
If nothing else, we have a list of everything that's going on, and I want to thank everybody for coming out today, and,
I'm going to ask
you know,
Tom to,
I just wanted to say, well, thank you to the team, and thank you for all the time put into this, because we are in a tight schedule. And I will say, Mike left already, but I'm very impressed so far what I've seen him do with the townhomes, and I think he's going to outperform what you're seeing here. He's on site all the time. He's watching every detail of that project, so I'm more than impressed with his detail, his attention to detail on it. So.
and they're going right up. They're
Yeah.
they're
No,
they're there.
He's watching everyone there, and there's no one's cutting corners there at all. I think they're going to be really nice. But thank you again for all your time for your gifts.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and we don't normally do a daytime meeting, but we just happened to,
Yeah,
the
no,
stars
this is great.
aligned
Thank
so
you.
that we could actually do this.
No,
And
this is great, especially in the summer.
Yeah, it's
yeah, thank everybody.
happy to switch.
Okay.
We could switch.
yeah,
Yep.
thank you, Gigi and Don, Bob. Sorry about that, Rob. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for making the effort.
Yeah.
Yep, and let us know if anything wasn't clear, or, but
Okay.
I think you have enough to do your submission next
Yep,
Tuesday.
so,
and we'll get you
Tom, you're all
comments.
set? what you need to do? Chris, you're all set? Okay, anything, Jared? Okay, all right. And you got these guys here, so grab them on the SWIP stuff for 2B. Okay, all right, great, thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much.
May I get
It's looking great.
a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tony, for coming in for the video. Thank you, Town.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep.